Thank God it's Friday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Obiajulu Olabisi Ubu, and with me are the ladies. Hello, Alhaja Nima Akashadzibiri. What's up?
I'm fine. Today is the first Juma in this Ramadan.
Okay.
I'm grateful to God. The red robots have not attacked.
The what? What does that mean?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Got it.
We copy.
I copy that.
So I slept yesterday. And yesterday that I stayed home, I didn't work, was the hardest of Ramadan for me.
Oh, wow. All through, yeah.
So that's why I had time to be giving you that WhatsApp. I'm really tired. But it's good to be here. I'm looking forward to a working weekend again and a full week planned. Thanks to Besma.
It's all good. It's all
well done.
How are you doing?
Well, it's a beautiful morning, and like Nima said, it's the first Friday, first Jumat service in Ramadan. I'm not a Muslim, but I have Muslims around me. My partner is Muslim, my sons are Muslim. Everybody in my house coincidentally has a Muslim name.
Oh, wow.
From my son is Mufodil, I have Muhammad Awal, my husband is...
Is it from Ilorin?
No.
Those are people that throw Muhammad Hawal.
Because I like it, so I learned it.
Okay.
And then we have there's Aminat in my house, there's Sadiq, there's Hamzat. And one I asked them the day first, I said, which Muslim name do you think befits me like this? Because I'm the one cooking for all of you.
Zainab.
Zainab. And somebody said, somebody had called me Nimotalai. I say, hey. But I think that faith is something that we have got into, and we always encourage each other that whatever the faith you practice, just make sure you're disciplined about it. Whatever it is, just be disciplined about it. Good morning again from everywhere you're watching us this morning.
Yeah.
How you doing, Mary?
I'm fine. So I'm meeting Dami for the first time. So hello, Dami.
And I bombarded your page yesterday.
You said so,
I went to IG and I kept like, I said she will know that I'm the one. You know, there's a way you run traffic on people's and you see 99 likes. Like, who is this person? I did that yesterday.
I'll check. Nice to meet you. You guys are doing amazing on the Saturday show, really. So, you know, it's always good when we just see women just, you know, expanding,
flourishing.
You're flourishing, and we're just doing it all together. So congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm an imported player here now.
We like it like that.
So yesterday I stopped by at Ofada Boy. I'm sorry for those of you that are fasting.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
What I have seen this week.
Ouch. Understandable.
So I went to get pounded yam and edikaiko. Seafood edikaiko.
Oh, wow.
We have moved from seafood okra.
And then I also got seafood fisherman soup.
Oh, wow.
And you have
It was good.
And then I got palm wine.
And she has not given me.
And it's not Friday yet.
It's not Friday. I don't know what happened to me. I'm just saying,
changed.
I've not had pounded yam in years. No, I think I had it 1st of January.
Yes, you did.
Good. So I had another. Yes. So
and you loved it,
I'm
right?
so proud of myself.
Is that why people are taking me for my birthday?
Which
why?
In a few
Have you people given
we are
fasting? This
No,
week
no,
that
I'm
went
not
to
fasting.
eat pounded
I'm
yam
not
and
fasting
all
on my
the
birthday.
all the seed children, all the mommy water children that they ate inside.
We've gone back. I'm fasting. I've gone back to my fast.
You people cannot fast on my birthday. You dare not. You will not try it. So this weekend, I think I just want to rest. I'm supposed to be at the factory for my skincare production. We're launching our face cream very soon. But I have to move it because I need to rest. From my voice, you can tell that the wires inside my body is touching in different areas. But I'll just rest, and the kids hopefully will be coming back from school this weekend. We just stay home, just eat, and I need to catch up on sleep and see latest by Monday how my body will be.
React.
Yeah, I need to be okay. Yeah. All right, let's take a short break now. When we come back, we take the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We'll be starting the newspaper review with The Nation. Major headline, federal government eases access to student loan in new proposal. Kiari, Port Harcourt Refinery resumes production in 2 weeks. Mariah just talked about it yesterday. The federal government insists discos must recapitalize for efficiency. Government remodeling ports to raise standards, says Oyetola. EFCC uncovers how REAMD chiefs misappropriated 124 billion. Labour plans showdown with states not paying wage award. NSA Services Chief, North Governors strategize on security. Undersea cable cuts cripple internet services. Ex-Oyo lawmaker jailed for fraud. What stories do we have in the nation?
So I have the Oyetola story. So the PS of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy represented the Minister, Boyega Oyetola, at an event yesterday. Before the House of Reps yesterday, the House of Reps Committee on Privatization, and he explained that they are going to be remodeling all our seaports across the country, and they would also not let it affect the concessions that we have. It says that they need to enhance the operation and standard of the seaports, and under that modernization program, the ports, the ministry is looking at investment in the ports and making them meet modern standards, and expected service delivery would improve as well. So the current situation is that the port does not meet the required standard, and so investment quantum that is expected to be put into the port will require a major rethink of the concessionings that already exist. Most of the ports, when the MPA, then he was acting, now MPA head, what's his?
Yeah.
Mohammed Koko Abi?
Yes. Yes.
When he was here, he was talking about how concessions were affecting. So they are looking to revamp all the ports. They are looking to raise $1.1 billion to do this. Wow. And so I'm hoping that is done. We need that. And I'm hoping that in between all this remodeling, they factor in a nicer, not one, but several entry and exit points, so that we don't continue to have what we have.
Same thing that happened in Apapa.
Yeah, so I also have the House of Reps yesterday. They asked NAFDAC to lift the ban on production and sale of sachet alcoholic drinks and the 200 ml PET bottles. The agency, had said, that NAFDAC had said that the sale and consumption of the products were fueling crimes and addiction amongst our youths. So the House said that the ban should be lifted immediately because the timing was inappropriate. They're saying that because of the economy struggling with soaring unemployment, high inflation, worsening poverty, level with paucity of forex to do business, the ban would worsen unemployment and poverty. And so they're saying NAFDAC should lift the ban. The House is still, they said that they should. So the House is suggesting that instead they should place more emphasis on regulation, on monitoring, enlightenment campaign to educate all stakeholders. They go to secondary school and educate them on the, on the ills of consuming this sort of products instead of stopping the production because it will affect work. But NAFDAC has said, take this out because it's affecting our youth. It's bringing about crime. Instead, what you should do is, have proper places that they can go and buy these things. And I think NAFDAC is right. I think the House of Reps is wrong on this. I mean, it's not a hot topic, but if this was, I totally disagree with the representatives on this one.
What stories we have, Nabi?
I don't have for...
Okay, in the nation. So I have the major headline here. We know that yesterday would have been the kickoff of the program. That's the student loan program. Supposed to be starting yesterday, but it was shifted indefinitely. However, they said a major rejig of the student loan by the federal government had been passed to the legislation as a bill. Now, they said the new plan will ease loan access by students, and it was sent to the executive bill to the Senate and the House of Representatives for consideration and passage. That happened yesterday. And in this, they had, done a few things which I would like to, tell us so that we are aware. They said now the hurdles of a guarantor, a parent's debt profile, and others in the old act have been removed in the new bill, thereby making it easier for the loan to be assessed. And they also said student applicants can no longer be disqualified based on their parents' loan history. That's also one that was corrected. Applicants to the fund may apply for loan to cover tuition and other fees payable to the school and maintenance allowance payable to the student. Now, on repayment of loans, they said the bill indicates that beneficiaries of the fund shall begin as soon as the beneficiary becomes employed in any capacity. Before they said immediately after NYSC, you can now start repaying, but now you must have gotten a job before you start repaying. And they also said the beneficiary may request an extension of enforcement action by the fund by providing an affidavit indicating that he is not employed in any capacity and not receiving any income. Then a person who provides a false statement to the fund under this section is guilty of felony and is liable to imprisonment for 3 years. They also made provision for loan forgiveness in the event of death or acts of God causing inability of the person to pay. So I think this is a more holistic approach to it. So congratulations to them. We're just waiting for when this will kickstart because people are waiting. Students are waiting. Let's move on now to The Punch. Major headline: bandits demand 1 billion for 287 pupils. Issue March 27 deadline. Wow, on my birthday. Should not try it. Kidnappers called on Tuesday, gave us 20 days to raise ransom, says community leader. Hostages held in difficult location used as human shields to prevent bombardments. Senate reviews 30 trillion loan documents, summons CBN officials. Facebook, Netflix, Google, others pay 3.2 trillion tax, according to the MBS. PH Refinery gets 450,000 barrels crude, resume operations in April. Politics over, it's time for governance, Tinubu tells governors at Iftar. Nigeria leads as ECOWAS members default on 150 judgments. Many injured, 18 arrested as youths attack Ogun Monarch. Amoteco heightens security in Osun boundary communities. What stories do we have in The Punch?
Okay, for The Punch, I have the many injured, 18 arrested as youths attack Ogun Monarch. And from this, we saw that an undisclosed number of persons were reportedly injured during a clash that started on Sunday when some youths of the Agoshasha community of the Ipokia local government area of Ogun State attacked the monarch of the community, Aziz Akinpelu, over a traditional possession right. And this was just, the police said that no fewer than 18 persons were arrested in connection with the incident, which lasted for a few days. And the clash came about, the crossfire came about the fact that the previous monarch, who had passed away about 2 years ago, and it was gathered that the stool became vacant following the death of the first Oja of Agoshasha, Oba James Elegbede, sometimes in February 2022. And that after Elegbede's race, some people have determined to ascend the throne. So this caused the clash between the communities. But for me, I would say that probably the police has done the right thing, but we also need to go back to tradition. If somehow we know how we arrange ourselves when it comes to religion and how we comport ourselves when it comes to religion, but when it comes to tradition, a lot of people have a say. We just do it anyhow. And I do not think, I'm sorry to say, that tradition started before religion. We had these traditions way back before religions came in. So they were a way that our godparents and our old great-grandparents were actually able to make sure that who is supposed to ascend the throne ascends the throne, away from politics or away from man or man or away from who has the money and who can actually do it. So I will say that we need to go back to the nitty-gritty and to the drawing book to know how to preserve tradition.
Yeah, amazing. Let's take a short break now. When we come back, the newspaper reviews continue. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We're still reviewing The Punch. Which are the stories?
So I have the Port Harcourt Refinery story. According to the group managing director and of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Military, who was addressing press after he had appeared before the Senate committee, I'm trying to get the Senate committee again, on the Senate ad hoc committee that is investigating the various turnaround maintenance projects of the country's refineries. He said that we are serving this country with honor and dignity, and we'll make sure that the promises we make on the rehabilitation of these refineries will take place. He said that they have done the mechanical completion of the refinery, and that they are looking at Kaduna Refinery, whose works have just started, will finish in December, and that it will be delivered in December. Then he says, I assure you that Port Harcourt Refinery will start in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
He said 2 weeks, so. And he said that they've completed the mechanical works. And that means, he said, completing the mechanical works means that you are done with the rehabilitation work. And now we have to test to see how it works. Of course, we have also completed the mechanical works on the Warri Refinery. Also, that is undergoing some regulatory compliance, which is the next stage. And he said processes that we are doing with our regulators and are also ongoing, and that soon that too will be completed. He says that they are also doing the Port Harcourt Refinery is also undergoing compliance process, and that immediately that is complete in 2 weeks. But he also said that the crudes, all their crude lines are active, and they have actually delivered 450,000 barrels to the Port Harcourt Refinery. You know what me I'm calculating, Sha, is in getting the product. So he said that they are confident of the integrity of those refineries, especially the Port Harcourt one there. And there are still security issues that they are handling, but government is responding. But the Senate disowned the alleged reports of fraud in the turnaround maintenance of the nation's refineries currently being undertaken by the NNPC. I know that this is possible, that there can be fraud, but we'll hold Sir Mele Kyari, we hold him in 2 weeks' time.
By the jugular.
Okay.
Choir. That story, do we have?
All right, I have the president has implored the state governors to set aside political differences and collaborate with federal government to build the nation. And this was during the breaking of Ramadan fast with governors at the State House in Abuja. Please, sorry. Let me finish and I'll ask my question. The president stressed the importance of transitioning from politics to governance, noting that the need for unity and cooperation among all stakeholders. So just to read some of the quote, some of it, he says that since we all recognize the need to build our nation together, the time for politics is over. It's now time for governance. We are the same family and parents living in the same house but sleeping in different rooms. Must cooperate, spread love amongst each other. You know, he also highlighted the significance of the holy month of Ramadan and also Lenten season, you know, and said that we should use this period for reflection, prayers, and charity towards each other. And that, you know, things will get brighter, you know, over time. So I like that message, you know, because really, he's right. Politics is over. The campaigning is over. Now, since we all agree, we're really all doing it for one thing, for the betterment of our nation. So let's
focus on that
job right now.
Yeah. All right, now, Daily Sun.
Question.
Do we have time for
Ramadan
questions?
fast, when they break it, all the governors, did they come from their states to...
It's because they were invited.
They were invited.
It's always good to share a meal at that time.
I mean, the governors, shouldn't
is
they
the
be in their
highlight of
state?
Let us move on to Daily Sun. Your time is not on our side.
Sorry.
So we have DHQ explains Borno IDPS kidnapping. Budget padding allegation, Senate replies PDP. Says Akpabio won't resign. Says victim ignored security advice, abduction unacceptable. Says Obi, Nigeria at war with kidnappers, says First Lady. Federal government to fix capital base for discos. Tinubu asks National Assembly to repeal, reenact student loan law, and which they have done. Confusion as EFCC names Bello in alleged corruption perpetrated before he became Kogi governor. Oyo lawmakers seek deployment of security surveillance to forest reserves to fight bandits. Insecurity, Northern Governors and NSA security chief meets. Ribadu advocates community-driven counter-terrorism efforts in Northeast. IPOB slams Tinubu for seeking land for ranching in states. Says Southeast won't bow to move. Telcos, banks, others hit as ruptured undersea cable disrupts internet service. Port Harcourt Refinery to commence production end of March 7. Nima had taken that. So what are the stories that we have? In the Sun.
So I have from the Sun sorry.
Should I?
Not the student loan.
Can I go ahead?
Yes.
Okay, so the federal government yesterday disclosed plans to set capital base for discos. The Minister of Power, Mr. Adebayo Adelabu, said this when he visited the corporate headquarters of Ikeja Electric in Lagos yesterday. He says that what he's found out that the discos are only interested in revenue generation to the detriment of infrastructure upgrade. So what they do is, as long as they are making profit, whatever infrastructure needs to be upgraded or updated, they they're not interested in doing that. And so he's saying that, you know what, they're going to get legislative backing. He says if nothing changes, they're going to make sure that they get legislative backing to make sure that this discourse reinvest into the infrastructure so that this will help, so that we don't have the issue of lack of power like we're experiencing right now.
The collapse of the grid.
Yes, he says that it does not make sense. He says that a country with an installed capacity of 13,000 megawatts was generating a paltry 5,000 megawatts. So this change has to come.
So I have the Yaya Bello story. So according to this story, the EFCC amended their charges, and they are charging the governor and his accomplices, one Ali Bello, who is now the chief of staff to the governor of Kogi State, and Dauda Suleiman, who is also currently in government. I hope I'm not mistaken about Dauda Suleiman's, but they amended their charge and they said that these persons diverted about 100 billion belonging to the state government in September 2015, months before Yaya Bello assumed office. So this is where the title "Confusion as the EFCC names Bello in alleged conspiracy." So the governor had not even become governor when this fraud was done, and the EFCC seems convinced that he committed the crime, and so they've amended their charge, and they brought the parties to court. Those pleaded not guilty. The governor wasn't in court anyway, but Ali Bello and Dauda Suleiman were in court. They pleaded not guilty to having diverted $80+ billion to their personal use, and also having concealed several millions of naira with one Rabiu Musa Tafada, a bureau de change operator trading under Global Venture in Abuja.
Okay.
And the court has admitted them to bail.
All right. The major headline, the DHQ, that's the Defense Headquarters, said that the 112 internally displaced persons who were abducted by terrorists in Borno, went beyond the permissible distance surrounding the camps. Yes, they said they did not take permission before going to fetch firewood, and they went beyond where they were advised to, beyond the perimeters, and so that it was about I think midnight that they realized they were not around, and then they started counting, only for them to investigate to find out that they are actually being kidnapped. But they are doing everything within their power to make sure that they get them back, basically. That's what the story is about. Do we have any other one in the sun? Let's move on now to the Vanguard. I don't know if we have much time. Major headline, abductors demand 1 billion, vow to kill victims in 20 days. Damage on the sea cable disrupts internet services in Nigeria, African countries. Tinubu to governors, it's time for governance. Let's set aside political differences. We've taken that. We've also taken Port Harcourt Refinery. Teachers' welfare packages. Government requires 345 billion to pay monthly salaries. Benue, armed herdsmen kill 147 in 2 months. 50 taxes will be reduced to single digits in Lagos. Alleged 3.7 trillion budget padding. Atiku joins fray, demands probe. What stories do we have?
I have the damaged cable story. So a joint confirmation, first from Ayatunde Koka, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Open Access Digital Center, Cranfield University, and that of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, Louis Bobby, a statement which he signed. He said outages on multiple submarine optic fiber cables into Ghana, and also the President Association of Corporate and Marketing Communications Professionals of Banks in Nigeria confirmed that damaged cables, undersea cables, disrupted internet service and bank services in Nigeria and other African countries. They said that some East Coast cables got damaged about 2 weeks ago in the Red Sea. And because of the Yemen issue that affects the speed of response on the internet, but Yemen issued a letter saying they will not cause issues to repair ships, which will take time to deploy. But this is why we don't have our internet working at optimum.
So our last paper for today, Nigerian Tribune. I don't know how many stories we can take. Police recover body parts of murdered Rivers DPO 6 months after. Dami, have that story?
Yes, I have the story. It says River State Police Command on Wednesday announced that it has recovered some body parts of the cop of Bako and Bashim, former divisional police officer DPO in charge of Ahoada Police Division in Ahoada East local government area of the state. And it also says that since then, the security agencies led by the police had mounted operations in the efforts to apprehend the killers and recover his corpse, even as the state governor, Sheminalayi Fubara, placed a bounty of 100 million on the gang led by two Baba. And it also says that during this period, several cult members were arrested, some killed in shootouts with the police, including two Baba, who was neutralized on February 17th. So it says some police officers also lost their lives in the operation. I pray that the souls of the departed rest in peace. However, in this statement, the command, through its spokesperson, Grace, said that on Sunday, 10th of March, a coordinated joint operation was carried out by the Tactics Squad of the State Police Command and from the Force Intelligence Bureau, FBI. And I will say that, well, kudos to the Nigerian police, because when they do the one that is bad, we are quick to point
them out,
fingers. But we only hope that it could speed up, because there are too many cold cases left unattended. So this is just one of it. But at least it's in the light of the other cases that have come like this. I hope that they really get justice. As I said, maybe the souls of the departed working for the unity of the country.
We have to go, I'm sorry.
Say this to the Ibadan people. So they lost the Olubadan of Ibadan yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Dr. Moshood Olalekan Balogun Ali Okumade II, who died at the UCH hospital 2 days after he was brought in. And his younger brother, former senator representing Oyo South, Senator Kola Balogun, confirmed his death.
Anyway, she just spent 2 years on the throne.
All right, that's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. Thank you, ladies. When we come back, we move on to our hot topic. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, Albin Swim Academy is Nigeria's first private indoor heated swim academy based in Abuja. It is an international swim institution that has been established to teach babies from 6 months old to school-age children, teens, and adults of all ages. Joining us on the show is the MD owner, Albin Swim Academy Abuja, Roslyn Ubeche. Good morning, Roslyn.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you. Good morning.
How are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic now. I'm talking to you and I'm on your show.
So let's talk about your Albin Swim Academy. Why did you decide to have a swim academy that will be teaching even little children, you know, to adults how to swim, and why do you think it was necessary to have this?
Excellent question. That is kind of like the general question that will cover everything we talk about.
Exactly.
Now, learning to swim is very important for everyone. The key of what Albin Swim Academy teaches is water safety and survival skills. So first of all, we are based in Abuja, Wuse Zone 5, Accra Street, Park 1. We are an indoor heated pool, as you mentioned in the beginning. According to the World Health Organization, death by drowning is the third cause of unintentional injury deaths worldwide and accounts for about 7% of injury-related deaths in the world. And statistics has it that about 360,000 people die annually from drowning. CBN even described it as a leading killer. So it is important that people, it's not just learn to swim, but they learn water safety and survival skills that can keep them safe in an expanse of water. If they find themselves in, like we have floods here in the country, if you have a pool, if you find yourself in anywhere around water, or even to save somebody that is in water, you need to have those water safety and survival skills that can help you stay long enough to survive in water. There are other benefits of swimming as well. So we've talked about water safety and survival. We also have, as a health benefit, when you're in water, the resistance that it creates helps you burn calories faster. Yes. And also, it's a leisure. It's for leisure. It's something that is fun, that is engaging, that is interesting. We all came from water, right? We are surrounded by water. So there is a lot of joy and benefit from being there. So it's really important that everyone learns to swim.
Yeah.
So you are teaching survival skills, and you think this is more important before learning strokes. I totally agree, but how did you arrive at this? What are the statistics like?
This came from the World Health Organization. The statistics are from the World Health Organization about drowning and how the world perceives drowning. They even described it as a leading killer.
Yes, so, okay, let's talk about your swimming instructors. For some of us who have tried to swim and failed, we blame the instructors for not knowing how to. But could you tell us about your own instructors? How are they trained, their skill levels, and if they are matched to different ages?
Okay. So first of all, I want to say that we teach from 6 months old to adults of all ages. We have different categories of swimming. And the reason we start so young, in fact, that is not even as young as we can go. We can even go as young as 6 weeks. But we're starting with 6 months, and we're trying to get the country to understand, to appreciate it, and to understand why a baby as young as 6 months should be in the water. We teach babies from 6 months old. We have children, teens, youth, up to adults of all ages. Our youngest is 6 months. Our oldest is 87 years old. So we have different categories that we pair all the different groups. So we have our babies from 6 months to 3 years, which is our parent and baby class.
Okay.
That is a class where the parent needs to go into the pool with the baby. The reason is that a baby at that age is very dependent on the parents, on an adult that they are used to. So to give them that comfort and that ease and that confidence in the pool, we put a parent with them. It could be anybody from the family. We have a lot of fathers. In fact, we have a session that it's all fathers and their babies. It's lovely to see. We have grandparents that come in with their grandchildren. And of course, a lot of mothers, aunties, yes, nannies. They come in with the children. And we teach the children. The nannies have the children on their shoulders or on their arms. And they kind of guide and instruct them. And the babies see that adults. And they tend to go towards them. So there's a learning system that works with the parents and baby class. Then we have our children from 4 years old who are independent and can swim by themselves with the instructors.
Okay, let's ask you a few more questions.
Then we have our adult groups.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm particular about survival over sports. Like you said, the WHO has also ruled out a 360 annual drowning deaths. For me, I want to ask, are you going to be partnering with the government at all levels? Because I think that aside from parents having the interest and bringing their children forward for these sporting exercises or survival skills, don't you think that it is also good for us to narrow it down to the schools in the community to know how to, at least when it's inculcated in the school curriculum as a survival skill over a sport, probably a lot of children will help themselves do well. What's your opinion about this?
I didn't quite get your question.
Okay, are you collaborating with schools because of the survival instinct over sports?
Okay. So yes, we have tried, we've reached out to schools. The prime aim is that we get this into school curriculums. So we are reaching out to a lot of schools to introduce that into school curriculums. We have a program coming up where we're going to go from schools to try to introduce them into swimming and how to put it in as part of their swim curriculum so that children can start to learn to swim from young. And they're accepting it. A lot of schools are now having swim schools. They're now having pools. They're now bringing in instructors. So we're trying to see that it's introduced. And this is a very important question because we want the government, we want them to put it and feed it into school curriculums as part of an important learning life skill that they must do. And that will also help to reduce this rate of drowning.
Okay. So, okay, go ahead, Nima. I have a question.
Okay, so when she was talking about the babies learning to swim, I thought of partitioning. So how are is your establishment partitioned, or do you have just one pool that everybody uses? When I saw the videos, I thought there was a private section where somebody like me can learn how to swim, covered women.
Where you're covered overall now.
Okay, so...
Go on.
Go on, ma'am.
Did she get the question?
I didn't hear that. Yeah.
Do you just have one open space pool? Or you have different pools for different...
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we have one training pool. Again, that's very important. We have a training pool. It's only 4 feet deep. The reason is that the average child can stand comfortably in it. Okay. Now, our pool is not primarily for leisure at this point. It's for training because more people need to learn to swim than can swim. Yeah. And people are intimidated by a very big pool and that has depth. So the way we built it is we've made it all the same depth, which is 4 feet, and it's not a very large pool. It's 12 by 12, so that anybody coming in is not immediately intimidated. They don't have that fear of drowning. The average child can stand comfortably in the pool. Now, you asked about our instructors as well. So I described the different categories to explain that our instructors are professionally accredited by international bodies. We actually have, all our qualifications have come from the Starfish Aquatics Institute, which is an American company, and is part of the International Federation of Swim Teachers Association, which is the top swim instructor training program in the world. Also affiliated with the official Olympics training body. So what we're doing is bringing the best teaching methods to each category. Our instructors have been trained to teach all skills and all categories. So I talked about how we pair them into parents and babies, our children, our adults. We even have female-only sessions that cater to females that for private reasons do not want to be in the presence of the opposite gender. So we have private female-only sessions which have only female instructors and only female swimmers. So our instructors are taught to train different skills. Even within the same age group, the children will be at different levels. Our instructors have been trained to teach them all as a group. We're also working with the Swim Kids SA, which is our sister company in South Africa. They've helped us with the scheduling, they've helped us with systems, they've helped us to be able to manage how we train. We're constantly doing continuous development. We have our program director that comes in once a year to kind of retrain and recertify our instructors so we have the skill. We're bringing the best methods and we're making sure that all our instructors are skilled constantly to continue to bring the newest and improved methods. Our purpose is to reduce that rate of drowning and to increase the rate of people that learn how to survive in water.
Okay, so that's really amazing. I would like to know how long it takes a child to learn how to swim. Is it the same with an adult? And what other initiatives or projects is your academy working on?
That is an excellent question. I get asked this question by everybody. How long will it take to swim? Not just for a child, not just for a baby. The adults want to know how long. My answer is this. It will take as long as it takes.
Oh, wow.
Everybody learns at a different pace. It's just like learning to ride a bicycle. You'll be surprised that as you get into the water, your reaction to the water is different. Now, the babies are easier. Children are easier. They're at that age where you can teach them much easier. But everybody learns at a different pace. Again, that is why our instructors are skilled to teach at different levels. You will learn when you learn and as long as it takes. But we make sure that, we want to get you in there, get your water safety and survival skills, and get you out. When you come to the academy to learn, the first 10 lessons that we take is water safety and survival. How to survive if you ever find yourself in an expanse of water. If you fall into a pool, if you need to save somebody from water. how can you survive long enough to save yourself, to endure without exerting energy, and to be saved by somebody, to call for help. As you get into the pool, we teach you how to kind of get yourself to the edge of a pool. For example, you fall into a pool, and you know we have that a lot. A lot of us have pools in our houses, and we've seen a lot of drowning cases. If you have a pool, make sure your children have learned water safety and survival. If their body comes in contact with water, we teach them from 6 months old how to crawl to the edge of the pool and call for help, how to scull, how to tread, how to float, how to call for help. In fact, what we also do at a point in time, we put heavy clothes on them, we throw them into the water and teach them how to take off that heavy cloth and continue to swim for safety.
Wow.
We remove their goggles sometimes and teach them how to go into the pool with water, because if you fall in, you'll be wearing clothes, you won't be wearing goggles. So we teach you how to open your eyes and swim and get used to the water in the pool. Water safety and survival. How long can you hold on before you are found, before you are saved, before you cry for safety? That is the key of what we teach.
So are there any initiatives?
So when we finish with those 10 lessons, yes.
Yes.
Are there any
We start to
initiatives
teach
or
you
projects that
freestyle.
the Academy is working on at the moment or in the near future?
Any new thing we need to know?
Yes. Yes, so we opened in September 2022. We're just kind of over a year now, almost going into 1.5 years. We've seen immense progress in what we've done. We started with about 24 swimmers the first day we opened. Now we have almost 700 accounts that have children, adults that have passed through the academy. Now, what the academy does, again, we are very community-minded. We are really trying to reach the community. So one of the initiatives that we have is teaching orphanages and children from welfare homes for free how to swim. So we reach out to orphanages, children from welfare homes, people that we know cannot afford this but need this life skill. We bring them in, we teach them. I think we've taught 17 children to date who have graduated from the swim school, from orphanages and children of welfare homes. We have another initiative that we started last month, where we reach out to females to teach them how to become swim instructors. We actually pay them to come and learn to become swim instructors, providing them with a life skill, because we've noticed that there is a shortage of female swim instructors in the country. And I want to tell you that most of the people that come to learn to swim are females, and the female-only session is one of our most popular programs. So we're bringing in females that are not doing anything. They finish school, they are looking for work. We're providing this skill for them, and we are paying them to come and learn. The third initiative that we have is teaching special needs children. That is a very dear to my heart, to reach out to special needs, children of special abilities, to come and learn to swim. So we're currently working on certifying our instructors, getting them to learn. It's a very wide range, and we want to try our best to reach them. So in the near future, we have that in our program to also include children with special abilities.
This is super great, Roseline. Thank you so much for all you're doing. That's all we can take on this segment. We'll be speaking with Roseline Ubeche, the owner of Albin Swim Academy. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you. And when we come back,
thank you very much. Thank you. If you have a fifth space, I want to be an anchor with you.
All right, we'll talk about that. That's all we can take. Thank you. When we come back, we move on to our hot topic. Stay with us.
Stay tuned.
Thanks for staying with us. So we saw a story, or more like a question on social media, and it caught our attention, and we decided to jump on it. And this person says, I can never understand the rationale behind struggling to gather 20 million just to travel to another man's land to start hustling from scratch. What kind of brain do you all have? So it's a question, and I want to believe it's a rhetorical question, but we can try to understand where he is coming from. I've had a few people who I know who were doing relatively well here. So when I mean doing well here, It means that they have a roof over their head. They are able to pay their rent. They are not begging money to pay their rent. They have good jobs. Both husband and wife were working. They were able to put their children in a relatively good school, you know, the basics. And they had 2 cars, one for the wife, one for the woman. And all of a sudden, we heard the story that they have Japa. And so I started having a conversation with the person. I said, what happened? How
did you amount?
How did you decide to leave your so-called or what would I say now? Maybe your comfort somehow to go and start working. And how did I start asking that question? Because a few years before they finally settled there, they were now in like a fix. They needed some form of funds. They needed to be able to settle in. The jobs that they thought they were going to get immediately wasn't forthcoming. And so they were now calling family members, help me with this, help me with that, and all of that. And I said, but you had a good job here. But till today, they could not explain why they decided to take that route. And I'm asking, is it that the life we have here is not enough? Or is it something else that usually pushes people to say, okay, I have a good life here, but I can have a better one out there? Let's start with the ladies. Dami, are you ready to go?
I think, like you said, that was where I was going to come from, that a good life here does not amount to a better life in general. I would say that for what we have read on the books and how far some of us have traveled, we've seen that there is a way of life, there is a template that if you work over there, you will eat. That's man way work, go chop. Okay. Here, you don't have to even work. If you can beg, you will feed and you pay your bills, which makes you somewhat of a leech living on other people. But like you see abroad, it's not like that, because you have to work. You have to get up to do your daily job, which will produce that daily money. And some form of sanity. There are times that, okay, at this time, kidnapping rates, insurgency is on the rise. It's not as if it doesn't happen in other climes in other countries, but it's a reduced rate. And from what we see, their government is probably very spontaneous to reactions, to responding to, even if your chicken lost, as in you are looking for your hen or your cat, you have a place to complain to, that you are going to feel included. Not the one that probably you take a case to the police station here, and sometimes you get negativity from even the police officers that are supposed to encourage you. So sometimes, but for me, I do not think it is something I want to put like 20 million together, 30 million together, and go and start afresh. Because before you even get your feet, it will take you about a year to 2 years. Yes. It takes a while, except you are mentally ready for that 2 years and whatever comes from it. Like the person you mentioned that started calling family, they were not prepared adequately. Because you would have saved ahead of in case of incasity, like we call it. In case I don't get this job, in case things happen. Peradventure, what if? Is that what if that makes you rethink and rethink and rethink? But yes, quality life. I'm not against quality life. People seeking greener pasture of the fact that they want a better life for them. And a lot of people who have traveled that I've had the opportunity to also speak with, is for their children. They're not even thinking about themselves now. They're thinking about their children, their welfare, health, insurance, schooling, and all of that. And we know what schools we pay these days. Even yet, when we don't get that adequate, how do I put it now? When we don't get value for our money in schools, you just hear the big names and the big money, and you're just like, okay, societal symbol, maybe this school would live up to this expectation. So there are some areas that people need to also critically think about. Nigeria is not totally bad. If you're having to meet up with your bills and you're performing your duties or responsibilities, but I'm not also against the fact that you want to go for a better life, but know what you are doing. If you have brain in your head, please use it most times, so it will help us.
Thank you so much. Yes, who else is ready?
Okay, so there are many issues that might inform the person in migrating, but here it's usually, for some people, about class, about, just living abroad and raising kids abroad. So I have people who have gotten abroad and I'll say, in this school, they're teaching LGBTQ, they're this and this, they're that, and I'll be like, the decision to travel, how did you make it? How did you arrive at it? You uprooted everybody and relocated, and then you're afraid at how you have landed, which school you are going, and they're coming to your house and teaching your kid. There was one that shared the very heartbreaking story for me. So she is Christian and taught her child the Christian value of no to LGBTQ, and the child stood up in class and said, "I'm Christian and no to LGBTQ." And the teacher reported
Ew.
that she's been indoctrinated at home. I'm like, in her home, value that is taught in the home is indoctrination.
From my race.
Yes, you know, that is, and the people, you know, their business, their departments in charge of such things, pay the visit to come and see why she's been indoctrinated at home. He almost turned young pepper scatter because an attempt was made to take the child.
Whoa.
And the mom was compelled to teach the child new values.
Yes.
So if you want to travel at all,
Think
for one now, there's no traveling. There's no relocation because the values are strong.
Yeah.
I don't want to even risk having to explain to my child that there's a new value, but you know, to pretend you have to say, for somebody to compare my child to say there's LGBTQ, we will sit down and have a talk. We will be talking.
Against my will.
So I will stay in a place that I'm allowed to have that talk that, madam, please don't indoctrinate my child, no matter what the system is. But the system there is skewed towards supporting. If you are not supporting, you are the indoctrinator. You know, you are the this, you are the extremist, you are the all of
Everything
that.
is turned upside down.
It's upside down.
Yeah.
And such a risk is too big for me to take. So I don't know what we are thinking when we want to move. But according to this tweet now, this person would mop up all they have. And that's a very common thing we see today. Yeah. They will mop up all they have.
Even run into
Someone
debt.
I know borrowed. And now he's trying to
Pay back.
No, trying to dodge payment.
Some even try to pay back. Oh.
It's still there.
Yes, now.
So where he borrowed from, he used unknown to
not
them,
pass that
somebody
road
else to
As
start.
guarantor.
And so that person now, they are calling, say, this thing you go, it's how far? Don't they carry it? Go where I don't know. How far? He's now blocking numbers as if the person forced him to use, you know. And so that one is in a dilemma, and friends are now gathering and saying, but you two, you are the ones encouraging. If you blow now, you know, go deny him. But you have put somebody in an uncomfortable place and all of that. Why would you do such a thing? Because the amount in question, if you took it as a loan and did a business, you say it will not work here. Because some people have this defeatist mentality of this place. Yeah. They believe that if they plant beans in their house, as easy as it is for beans to sprout up, it will not sprout, it will not grow. In fact, it will die. The sand there is, you know, I don't believe it's like that. I think it's a mindset thing. And there are those who just want to have the abroad experience. The ones who would rather stay in the parking lot or the garage of the house or somebody else's house, but take pictures at the front of the house and say, this is
their house.
Society.
Different, yes. Miriam.
So I feel that a lot of people who do it without having like proper education or enlightenment about what the costs, what the risks are. A lot of people just believe the stories where you sit in your home, you watch your movies, Hollywood movies, and just assume that is what life is there. You know, you hear people say, if you travel abroad, you make it. And that is the only information that they have about traveling abroad. And they base their life decision on those, what would I say, incomplete information. You know, and then you go there and you find, you know, that you're struggling. There are a group of Nigerians who feel that when they go abroad, they will gain stupendous wealth. So if I'm a millionaire here, that means I can easily be a billionaire there. But I love the way that you explained it. Abroad, especially when you're talking about America and UK, it's about, you know, what you put in, you will get out. You know, it's only about merit. If you work 3 jobs, you will get the result of 3 jobs. If you work only 1 job, you get the result for only 1 job. People who are making a lot of money, they also work really hard. If the very rich at the top, for them to have gotten there, they must have done a lot of work getting there. Here in Nigeria, you can run for office, you know. Yes, and before you know it, you are making a lot of money. You can know someone in business who knows someone in politics who can make a way for you, and all of a sudden you become rich. And that also has become our culture. And then you find you take that way of life and living and go over there and you're wondering where you are. You know, you now realize that there are no colleagues to call, there's nobody, no politician to call, no free lunch
even
there.
In free time.
And it's, you know, and that will become a problem. But then we also have a category of people who are well-traveled, quite exposed, and they've decided, you know, I've compared both. And the money that I have, I hear people say that that no matter how much money you have in Nigeria, it's still the same roads we have to ply. It's still the same electricity problem. It's still the same hospitals I will go where the infrastructure is not there, the doctors are not there, you know, things. So I'm tired of living like that. I'd rather go and live as a regular person in a decent society where things work. But the thing that is important is that you understand what you're going. You understand the cost. So this person knows that, yes, I may be a big man here where gates are open for me as I'm driving, but when I go there, I will jump on buses, I'll hop on trains, you know, and there's no regret. It's when you go and you're wondering, I was a celebrity here. How come I'm the one driving a cab? You know, and then that comes that dissatisfaction and bitterness. Reality. So you need to have proper information. It is not automatically, I'm going to make it. The people that, you know, make it here in Nigeria and can make it anywhere, I think that maybe our people in entertainment, in sports, you're already a big name here. So you're already a big name in the world, you know. If you're in sports, football can carry from one country to the other. So that reflects. But if you're just a regular person working hard, it doesn't always reflect. Yes, for those who also move for, you know, lifestyle, it's also education of children. I think you mentioned that. You know, many people feel that there's an exposure, a kind of education you can get abroad that you don't get here. Although I beg to differ, I just feel that there are two different types of education. I understand that there are some things that don't quite work in our country, but there are some that work. Yeah. And if you have the money, if you have the kind of money that you can travel, you have the sort of money that you can give your children that sort of, at least I'm talking of, you know, that primary, secondary school level. Foundation. Of course, at university, you know, you can decide wherever. The child is grown. Good. So the child is grown and you can make those decisions. So just make sure that you have the right information before you make a lifelong
informed decisions. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still on this Japa conversation, and you know, with the few conversations I've had with some people who finally left, people that I know that were doing okay by my own calculations and standards. One of the things I heard is the fact that in Nigeria here, they work for their basic amenities. They work for the basics of life, the smallest things they will have to struggle hard for. But when they go abroad, they are working for guaranteed comfort. There's sanity of life abroad, and there's certainty, like what you said in the beginning, that what you put in is what you get out. And that is why they decide to leave, because they are constantly asking themselves, how long would I keep working for something I'm not seeing? How long do I keep paying for taxes and I'm not seeing the good roads? I'm not seeing the good hospitals. I do not have the insurance for Medicare. You say when they go abroad, their children's fees from primary to secondary is free. Medicare is free. They have people who have suffered from cancer and those very, you know, horrible diseases that have access to Medicare free. And, you know, you don't get that here. And when they look at all those calculations, they're like, it's better I'm not even known. And I'm able to have that quality, standard life with my family. It is.
We talk now.
But it's free, Onima.
No, it's not free now.
Absolutely.
There's a percentage of whatever you earn that goes into it for you to qualify, and it's not open blanket.
Yeah, but you're seeing
See, let me tell you, I don't want to put tribe before, but I've learned from a particular tribe to be sensible wherever you are. In this Lagos, these people point out, in fact, the foreigners, Indians and Lebanese, they will tell you everything that is free. And we Nigerians don't know.
Oh, wow.
When it comes to skill acquisition, to all these tech skills, they know the free things that government is backing. In this Lagos, for instance, primary school is free. Secondary school is free. They pay for their WAEC. But Nigerians do not trust the public school system, so we pay for private. Which is also the same abroad, in the UK.
And
you will pay through your ears and nose. But you go to the public, we will now say the standard is compared to the standard. Even the private school here, the standard, we will say that here. Because we have a problem believing in the standard. Is it really free? Let's even look at the recent one now. Because Nigerians do everything to go. You amass all you have. You give a government, then they bring a policy today. They are constantly on their toes. Constantly checking their side. You cannot bring your dependents again. I cannot be working in any place and my kids can't live with me. You know, it means that for a second class citizen better pass you. Your freedom, that freedom alone is so costly for the kind of things you're exchanging. That you cannot wake up and decide, I want to sleep with my husband by my husband's size today because somebody has to do a C of something. You know, that several categories that guarantees that. So what you earn, really, if you put it down and share the cost and come, is it really free? Is it really free? We are rushing there. They rated the UK the highest unhappy place in the world recently because of these numerous policies they sit down every day. Tomorrow they start. They'll say, okay, they are opening this for this and that. Tomorrow they say you come too much.
Go back and come back.
They say you come too much. They say, no, they don't want this. They say now if you come for your postgraduate degree, which is, you know, very expensive, you stay long. As soon as you finish, they put a new policy that you cannot continue to stay. So you are there, as you are doing the study, you are looking at the one that will take you to Canada. At least that one is your
Yeah, just opposing.
Another Japa.
Instability. Is it really free? Make we do the maths. Is it really free? Because, okay, like big bear.
Don't you tell her? And I think another thing.
No,
Sorry.
I want to interpret.
Dry muscle without soap is better than
peace of mind.
with peace of mind. It's better than when you have fried rice and chicken with problems. Another thing I want to talk about is discrimination and racism.
Yes.
Because people don't plan for it. I saw a comment that said you are intentionally going to be made inferior. Now let's go back to when we were even children.
So I can hear you well. We have a caller, Caroline from Magboro. Good morning, Caroline.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
So, the reason why I'm calling is because of this Japa thing. The thing is, the reason why majority are leaving the country is because they are going to restrict their work. Honestly, I've not been abroad, but I know that it's a place where you get to and you don't need to pay your way for admission. It's a place where you don't need, where if you work, you would pay. Nigeria, we work like we support for the basic things, good roads, water, light, and all. So anybody that wants to travel, fine. They could let them. But the fact that Nigeria is not
It wasn't clear. It wasn't clear. So that means
disagreed with me and said that she believes that, although she has not gone, but she believes that over there you don't have to walk your way to basics. It's a place where you can live and, you know.
Or you will walk.
Okay, so like what I was emphasizing on, let's look at even when we started growing up as children, the toys that we obviously played with were made in white. They made everything black seem inferior. Even them to themselves, you begin to have, oh, this is from this race or this is from that race. Here, there's a way you look at me and I'll tell you that I'm a bona fide indigenous of Nigeria. Excuse me. You cannot strain your eyes on me or me. We will either strain our eyes and look at each other. But over there, I'm being conscious. Who is going to report me? Who am I offending consciously or unconsciously?
Is the life truly free?
Do you understand? Here, your neighbor's music can be very loud and you'll be vibing in your house. There, you get a police call. And at the end of the day, things are not going well the way you think. It makes a lot of people run into depression. My sister moved recently last year, and she said, okay, education, she was tired of here. Though, in quotes, we've always called that mom in Canada when we were growing up. She had always had this notion of, I don't want to live here. Oh, wow. So she went to the UK and she's saying Canada is the main goal. That this UK, and about 3 weeks into her relocation, she started complaining, damn, I'm depressed. Wow. This place, no catfish pepper soup, no this, I can't even go out. It makes you understand that there's freedom and liberty here. But for some people that are perpetually lazy, I know how many things I do. I'm an MC, I'm an Alagaiduro, I'm a business developer. Weekend now, I don't go dance for one state.
Like 4 jobs.
Do you understand? I'm doing like 4 or 5 jobs. I have a small business that I'm doing buying and selling. If you really are that kind of person that you want to work for your money here, yes, fine, no, things happen, no. Let Nigeria not happen to us. But it happens everywhere. It rains everywhere. So calculate your risk. I think people don't calculate their risk properly.
So thank you, Damilola. Let's take another caller. Lucky from Abuja. Good morning, Lucky.
Yeah, good morning, my people. How are you? Good morning, first-time caller.
Welcome.
Oh, first timers today.
You're doing great.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I want to tell you that you are doing well.
Thank you.
Sir.
And what the topic you are saying is, you know, I used to enjoy that black girl, the the lady sitting for Moranyo. You always said, you always...
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, and the
we appreciate.
Oh, we love
we appreciate.
Sorry about that. Yeah, Mary, I'm waiting for you. Oh, okay. So now some persons have said that it's not free, like we just said now. You have to pay tax, pay as much as 40, sometimes 50% of tax. So you're going to have to work twice as hard. So one of the things that discouraged me then, you know, when we were starting our life and everybody was looking, what do we do? I've never had the notion of going abroad, except for when a little opportunity came for modeling, which I missed. I didn't go, you know, because I follow man. I didn't want to leave the man, so I didn't go for that one. But I've never really had the mindset of relocating or wanting to be there as the only way I'm going to be successful in life, right? But, you know, from time to time, family members who would go, you know, conversations will come up. And the question I usually ask them is, have you found out how people there work? Because I know that here, you can get away with a lot of things. We get away with a lot of things here.
Many.
I had friends who were in the teaching industry with me at the time I was a classroom teacher that finally left. And when they call, the kind of things they tell us, it was scary. He said, if you are teaching for 4 hours, you'll be on your toes for 4 hours. It's not here that you people are catching breaks up and down. You sit down, enter another person's class.
Sometimes selling puff-puff in class.
Sell some things in class and all of that. He said, if you're working for 4 hours, you will work for 4 hours. If you have a break for 1 hour, you miss any time of that break. That is it. You know, and before I knew it, some were complaining of leg pain. They will have to stand all through. They have very unruly children. Here, you can pinch small now. They say don't beat, but you can pinch small. There, you dare not.
Even the eyes looking.
You dare not even raise your voice. So she saw a new reality and she was like, I wish I didn't go. But somehow she found her way and she adjusted. And from that time, I knew that going there, some of the things that we get away with, mediocrity is one of the things we get away with here. Yeah. Because I know somebody knows somebody, they'll just fix you there. There, if you're not excellent at what you do, forget it, they will kick you out. If you're not ready to hustle, like you said, they'll kick you out. In fact, the cold in your room will kick you out because if you're not able to pay the bills, nobody will beg you to work.
That's it.
On your own, you're just working. And okay, let's take this call before we continue. We have a caller from Ikeja. Good morning.
Good morning.
Omaumi, good morning.
I'm a first-time caller.
Oh, today's first time. Thank you.
Okay, I would like to contribute to the topic you guys are discussing today. You see, there's no country sweet like Nigeria, honestly.
My sister, I know.
But you know, this country, if not because of money, a lot of people won't be Japaing, honestly. Like me, if I should Japa, once I clock 50 like this, I'm coming back. Because there is nowhere like home. There is no freedom like Nigeria.
Omaumi, can I ask you a question? Do you know that is people who have money that Japa, not the poor ones cannot afford to buy tickets now and pay for visas?
No, me, if I'm very, very wealthy, I can never travel. If I want to travel, it's just for vacation.
Can you explain your level of wealth? How much would you have in your bank account?
That would be very wealthy.
That would be very wealthy for you.
Like $1 million. No. Okay, come again with your question.
How much would you have in your bank account that tells you are very wealthy enough for you to stay here?
If I have billions, I'll just be going there for vacation.
What do you do? Let me tell you small. What do you do? What do you do?
I sell hair. I'm a businesswoman.
You can make that money now.
That industry is thriving.
I don't have, no, I don't really have money. I'm still striving, my sister. Because me too, I have it in mind to Japa.
Oh, wow.
I just want to Japa to go and hustle.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, to go and hustle. But staying there forever, my sister, I can't do. But if God really blessed me here, I can never go there to go and slave myself. Because going there is slavery.
God will bless you here. Just believe.
Yeah.
Just believe.
I also think that,
I've heard people say that, I want to go there to hustle. That there are some sort of jobs that they do. I remember, when you go there, the people that make hair, especially the make hair,
artisans,
they get a lot of money compared to if you would, to what you get here. And then when you look at it to, you know, look at it vis-a-vis the exchange rate, you're like, that's
coming
a lot
home
of
with a
money.
lot of money.
But then we're also talking about taxes there. The amount of money you make there, you will spend a lot of it there. You must give back to the government. There's some Nigerians who are under the radar. They don't have proper documentation. They are making this money. They are keeping this money. So they are doing this work from house to house and keeping this money. So those ones, also, the lifestyle that they're living is not quite, it's not a very...
enticing.
It's not a very, encouraging. You see people, they barely, the rooms that they stay in, barely there, the child, whoever it is, just cramped up in places just so that they can make this money. So they know that the only reason they're there is to make this foreign exchange so that they can come back and exchange it. But if that's the life that you're looking for, maybe that's okay. If you're sure that when you get there, that is really what you want to do. But you cannot expect, you know, this person that is hustling now, she may be looking at it that because I'm in Nigeria, everything I'm doing here is worse because it's in Nigeria. If I was doing exact same abroad, it would be better.
It may also not be.
Yeah, not necessarily. And then people who...
Let's take this call, please. We have Favor from London. We want to hear from somebody from London to give us the real gist. Yes. Good morning, Favor.
Morning, how are you?
We're fine, we're doing well.
Hello.
We're fine.
How are you?
We're doing well.
Yeah, I want to contribute. I want to make contribution to your conversation.
Best candidate.
Go ahead.
Please go ahead.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
Yes, the conversation is beautiful, but the lady behind it that is do all business, you see, there's nothing you cannot do here. You have the freedom to do anything. You can be in your four corners of your room and establish your business. Those that relocate to London or anywhere, they have their purpose and they know why they relocated. There's no place you can live there, you can never make it. So I want us to understand that one. And Nigeria also, if the system works, nobody will leave. It's because the system does not work. And people, a lot of people want a better life for their family, particularly their children. So leaving Nigeria, I think many people know, they think they have second thought of it before they leave. Thank you.
Thank you, Favor.
So also, you know, I was also looking at the opposite side. There are some times where people move because they believe that it will be better for them. So you hear this especially amongst, you know, people who go to school, who are quite intelligent, and they come out and say, you don't get jobs here in Nigeria, even though you're qualified, even though you're better qualified than another person, but you don't have the connections to get you some of these jobs. But if you are abroad, just on the back of your intelligence, you know, it will take you anywhere. So that's another group of people I feel that they can make, you know, that they are likely to, they are likely to do better when they go there. So you come from a really underprivileged circumstances and you go abroad, your intelligence especially, you know, is able to take you from one place to the other. We see here in Nigeria, people that come from those circumstances, inventing things. Nobody even wants to pay attention to them because they are far in the rural area, or, you know, it would take maybe some kind-hearted person. It's unlikely that, you know, we don't really celebrate those kind of people. Sure. We celebrate people who have money, who have connections, who
can blow the money and ballers.
If you have that kind of intelligence and you go abroad, there's a likelihood that someone will recognize you. The government is all constantly encouraging by way of scholarships, you know, all sorts of funding for people like that to make it.
Yeah, so I've seen, I understand where you're coming from, but I also know that we need to work based on the society that we have, right? So I've seen very intelligent people who come out of school, who the government recognizes and picks, but not everybody here, right? Because some of them do not have the rounded skills. They are in an environment where you have to be rounded to be seen. So you may be very intelligent, but you're not articulate. So when you meet them, you don't know how to package yourself. You are very brainy, you don't use deodorant. You don't wear your shoes properly. So when you are given an opportunity to be in a place where you market yourself, nobody pays attention because you're not...
There's a deficit somewhere.
Yes. So, but there, they can, anyhow you are. They look over society. Yes, the society there is already ripe for anyhow you are, they'll find you. So instead of thinking, oh, I have to be there to be able to make it, can you get some basic skills here too that would help you survive? Because there are people like you too who are geniuses, who people recognize. I'm just saying. Is there any way we can balance that as well?
There's an institute called the National Science and Technology Institute for things like this. They also help patents. But it's a Nigerian thing not to want to support something you don't understand. You will see Nigerians see a child who is probably inventing something that will later materialize, but he will start from scrapping. He will start from picking things. I'll be like, even me now, let me just, because even me now, I'm guilty of it. So my son is always picking things. You see, it's gemstone. When he was much younger, I would encourage him and say, oh, you found a gem, now stone, granite, you know. But now,
you don't tire.
I bet no, they bring the Tikon house enter, you know. And so we are Nigerians, we are who we are. It is in our nature not to. So people who must invent will persevere and show till they have a product.
Yeah.
They must persevere, unlike that it is a form of education. So systems are different.
Yeah.
There was a debate on a news channel, and somebody representing Chinese was saying, okay, that they have respect for the UK as a country and the people, but there's no comparison. That's all. For somebody to accuse, I think the host had asked him if he was comparing, that the Chinese are constantly comparing themselves to the UK. Said, what's the comparison? What we have we make more cars than everybody in the world. It's a fact. We make more inventions, you know. And he was talking because it's their system. My auntie will travel all the time to China for her trade, and she'll come back and say, like, these people, they're like
way ahead,
far ahead.
Yeah.
They're different. And there's nothing bad about where everybody is. It's just personalities.
We're different.
So, you know, we're all different in our ways.
I think
somebody here will have to persevere, and parents here will start to learn to help their kids.
So assist, to
you
support.
know the inventors that we celebrate that of different...
the inventor of fire.
It was more easier for inventors in the Arab world in those days to thrive than in the UK. It's only your parent that will say this Peking gets special skills. You know, it's because time had proven that their system is now wired to support skills wherever they find it, to nurture it. When the person that discovered gravity did, nobody understood what it was. The person that created the wheel, nobody understood what it was doing. And they took time, but now they are very open to it. We are now rushing to grow. Our own was truncated with colonialism and all the whatever that they did to us. They truncated us for several centuries, over 500 centuries. And so we're starting. Give yourself the time.
I think from the caller that called before Mr. Favor, and she said, oh, if I go there, I'll come back. I always encourage people that if you go there, acquire the necessary knowledge and come back. But because we discover that when they get there, the way of life, probably the remunerations they get and all of that, it keeps them entrenched. Then you now find out that, oh, Daddy Canada has spent 30 years in Canada. They have spent 45 years in Australia. There's now where you people die, they want to bring their body to Nigeria. No, don't do that. I think that particularly, especially those ones going to school now, though like the status quo deformation we have, that even if you have the first class upper and the everything, you still have to come back here and know somebody. But I think that if they go there, acquire the knowledge. We need those knowledge in governance. We need it in social life, social welfare. So you can come back and really come. That's what we are talking about.
You really need to know somebody. Let me take this call. We have another caller from London. Good morning, Deji.
Good morning, Peter. Good morning.
Good morning.
From Nima to Miriam and DC out Murayo and then
she's resting today. We are great. Thank you.
I would like to make my contribution because I've been listening to what the other contributors, and then I would like to chip in a little bit about this interesting topic. Right now, I'm in London and I've witnessed a lot of
I can barely hear you. Volume.
I said I want to make contribution regarding this important topic.
Okay.
Basically, many people don't know exactly what is happening here. There is no any place that can be like home. Home is home. And I think people who comes home, giving people false information are the people that cause most of this problem. I don't think it's advisable. The issue of relocating, and some people are trying to blame the government and say that system are not working. Even here, that the citizens are blaming the government. But the problem is that the problem is our people. It's not about the system of government. Because when you bring all Nigerians, take them to UK and bring people in UK, bring the UK to be to Nigeria.
We could barely hear.
He was basically talking about the system and governance. So to what I was saying, I'm saying that if the people who travel abroad know that they don't even need anybody, when they come back with those certificates, they will come back. But because after schooling, after stressing your brain to school, then you discover that when you come back, you only still need to know somebody in the system. That's where you find out that, okay, let me spend another 5 years, let me stay another 2 years, another 3 years, calculating, surmounting to 30 years, 40 years in another man's land. Then you now finally dawn on realization that I can't come back to really do anything except to retire.
So I wanted to poke into that knowing somebody, which I also believe is a mindset, right? I know that let's take, for instance, the public service.
Okay.
You may need to know somebody, right?
In quotes, may need.
Quote, may need to. Why I'm saying may need to is because I do not believe that there's any job that I want and I am skilled at, and I go to the office and submit my CV and get an interview, that I will not get the job.
You speak so much because of confidence.
That is the mindset. Now, we have a lot of people who have a mindset that no matter my qualification, if I don't know somebody in this industry, I will not get in. So it's more of a mindset problem. And the few people who do not have that mindset problem are able to get those jobs that they desire. Sometimes it takes a long time. Okay. We're always in a hurry to, okay, I finished school now, I should get a job now. Sometimes it may not be now for you. You may just need to add a few more skills. You may just need to get, ready. You may just need to add extra things to help you get the job. But when we have a blanket that in Nigeria, for you to get something good, you must know somebody, it's a mindset that already limits a lot of us, and that's why people are traveling.
Let me share a true life story with a friend of mine who is also Damilola. I think he lives in Port Harcourt now. He went to one of these big, giant telecommunications company, and the CV he put forth, the manager in that company said, you are more skilled than I am. If I hire you, I'll get fired for you. So go back. Take out all your certifications first. Just leave your BSc and 1 master's. And Damilola keeps writing professional exams every year, as far as South Africa, as far as England, just to beef up his CV. My dear, he went back to start his company in Port Harcourt. He didn't even stay in Lagos. It still comes down to, he knew. He knew.
Wait. He said he went back.
He went back.
And started a company.
And started his own.
That was his calling.
I know a lot of Nigerians who cannot start a cleaning agency here. They will tell you that I would do anything when I get there and go and clean.
But they won't do it.
When you were a student, can you clean?
Do you clean?
Do you clean? You will not go there. You will choose it. I'm not saying, you see, I hate to speak against a person's decision or their present condition.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that whatever you feel is okay to do there, you should have started doing it here. As an option, and see whether you don't amass that money. I'll compare it to these alagas that are trending now abroad. They started the alaga trade.
From here.
They moved from here and covered the Nigerians who have already relocated, who needed alaga. They are the ones maxing out the money.
Somebody still told me yesterday that, damn, if you relocate, you already have work. MC work is there, you'll be making a lot of money. I said, but I'm not coming.
These caterers who are going from one party to the other, do you know the wahala of it? He face inside, he's doing jollof rice.
Yes, no.
But they go there and they cater to Nigerians whose appetites cannot change. You know why our food stuff suddenly skyrocketed? Is it export?
Export now, yeah.
Nigerians who have gone there, they don't want to shop burger.
They still want that locally made food. Buy that one for me.
So some people will now package rice from India and help them to put
made
from
in Nigeria.
Those people.
Those people want your food.
Yes. I was going to say about those who travel and say that, I'll be back. For many of them, after living there for quite a number of years, they come back and can't find where they can fit in. So you left when all of you were struggling to find your feet, this one did not get a job, this one is just trying to, his low-income job, and then you go abroad. Because you're abroad, you're earning foreign exchange, you're not really doing much. It's not as if you're doing a very big job, but you've stayed there long enough, you're building yourself, and you're earning money as you're growing. By the time you come back, your boys or your people have moved on. And you know how Nigeria can be. One day you're here, the next day you're high up there, depending on, how life works for you. And then you come back and you're wondering, where do I fit in? Where do I start? So for a lot of people, for a lot of people, it's like, I have to go back. This is the life I know. If you stay in a particular place long enough, that will become your home.
Your way of life.
Everybody, your connections, your network, your people, your children, everything you know is there. So in thinking about traveling as well and saying, I want to go and give, are you giving 10 years? Are you giving 15 years? There's a way of life that you have learned that you cannot also bring here and behave that way. Immediately. So you see all the way people immediately leave, when they leave Nigeria and go there and complain about all the things they don't have. That's what happens when you come here and then you're sleeping for 3 nights at a stretch, no light. You turn on your tap, no water. You have to be the one doing all those things and you can't stand it. So you go back again.
Let's take this call, Busayo from Agege. Good morning, Busayo.
Good morning. How are you?
We're fine.
All right. I don't want to contribute to what the issue of traveling and Japa syndrome that we experience in these days. To be sincere, I want to say that Nigerians, we are not that high that cannot cope with situations. But when you look at what is happening in Nigeria, it's getting too much. No light, you are spending double money on your diesel, petrol, and you are still paying bills for life you are not enjoying. There is nothing more frustrating than that. And those Nigerians that are going, if you ask them, some of them are even complaining over there. It's not as if some of them have this money on the ground to give, but you can give anything for your comfort. I think that is why most of them are going. There is nothing bad in giving anything for your comfort. It's not about whether Nigerian is good or that place is bad. No, it is about your comfort, where you can go into your house, you know your light is there, your gas is working, you don't have to make noise, generator noise all over the place. Traffic, even when you are driving your nice SUV car on the road, you are not even enjoying it. Your head is shaking, you are at the back, your driver is driving, you are not even enjoying the ride. I think it's worth giving anything for one's comfort. So I think the Japa syndrome is not necessarily because they want to go and work there, but most people that I know actually go out for their comfort. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You people have not helped me with this mindset issue. Should we abandon it and just assume that Nigeria, you must know somebody to be able to have the jobs that you want?
Let me tell you a funny story about how I got here. When the audition was to happen and I went, I did not know nobody, no background in TV and everything, and I got here. And the first time I appeared on TV, it was said that because I went to school in Lasso, I was very popular in school, I did politics. I must have known some politicians who do this job. So it's an assumption people have out there that if you get somewhere, you know somebody. I never had that mindset. Never. I just always thought, wherever I need to go, I'll go. So I wanted a federal prosecution job. I went for it. I put in all the work. And sometimes this thing turn out true because one person can sit down here and cancel an entire process. But we see it happen too in the news from how the Prime Minister is doing there. So my sister had done a federal exam for a federal appointment as well. And she came out tops. Our insider was saying, this girl, she's brilliant like this, so that, she was the talk of the town. And then somebody came and said, it does not reflect federal character, the way the list was merited by some people from a particular region. And so they canceled the entire process. She never received her appointment, nothing. So we have some of our own peculiar issues here that make people just, throw these assumptions, and they turn out sometimes true because they were saying, maybe she should find a politician to talk. But the exams were not conducted because somebody needed to sponsor her. The exams were conducted freely. Just that the list of people who qualified, as was presented to the senator then, who cancelled the entire process, did not reflect, cover its region according to it. And so you
put bad belly.
So what I want to add is, so nepotism is not only a Nigerian problem.
Yes,
the world is a problem all over the world. Even in America, they talk about it in different sectors, But, some people have also said that if you have worked hard for it, or, you have gotten to a particular point in your life, your relationships and things like that should be able to work for you. But at what cost? So that's the thing with Nigeria. It's like there's no system. There's no system that also allows for those who are, who do not have those affiliations to get to some places. It's not just a mindset thing. It's a reality. We have read things here where people have complained, especially there are some jobs in government that people will call. And you will see the names of the people. Yeah, you see the names of people that get into those jobs. Their names, their surnames, you just know where they are from. Yes. And there are many Nigerians who say, I went to school with these people. Yeah. We went for these interviews. I know how well I did. And we do it so openly and we get away with it. So it is not just a mindset. Okay? It's the truth. But the mindset thing is to say that that does not determine your life. So if you don't get it there, does not mean that you cannot do something else. But that's a training that comes with it. But we have another country where they just have to be. Some people will tell you, see, I don't have time for knowing anybody. I've faced my book. I'm doing everything. This is what they say will get me here. And I'm going to do everything that will get me here. In Nigeria, I do everything that's supposed to get me here. When I get here, sorry, they've tossed me off the line because there's someone else that has a name. But if I'm abroad, once I am there and I can prove that my marks and everything, I will get in.
Yes, so I like how you also said that nepotism is everywhere, right? And they have their own type of... Join their own. Yes, I've worked with white people and I know how they go about their own. They have their own, seriously. But I want us to dissect it in such a way that from the beginning, when we're just starting out, maybe graduating from school and having the certificate and all of that, you may not necessarily need anybody to get to certain jobs. Absolutely. But as you grow in your career, if you do not have people who can mention your name at the table when you are not there, you have failed as a career professional, because it's not just to know the book that will take you there. Even abroad is the same thing. Sometimes you need sponsorship of, they may not know you personally, but your work has spoken for you in such a way that they can mention your name. So you have the brain, you have the bad attitude, and nobody just, once they see your name, they just push it. And you blame them for nepotism. No. Because at some point, it's not just your skills that get you the job. Hold on. That's why I'm building from beginning. Because the mindset, the general mindset is that you must know somebody to be able to get certain jobs.
It's the sector you are dreaming to enter.
Where I'm coming from.
Sorry, that's Nima. So I know someone, my uncle, who when he started out, wanted, because we all try to go to the public sector, want to work with federal government. When he finished from our Tripoli, him and his wife, he wanted that. And she, on her own, got employed in a bank because her skill was well needed by the bank. But my uncle, everywhere, hits brick wall, everywhere. And so what did he do? He took a very lesser job. He said, I know my worth. He took a job at a factory. And the foreigners, I don't want to call the Asians where they're from particularly, when they saw him and saw how committed he was to work, they wanted to pay him. So he stayed there for about 4 years. And then one day he told the man, he said, this job, I can't maintain my family. My wife practically carries the home. And I don't think I can continue here because I won't be a man. And he said, no, I know your worth. This is what we should be paying you. But the Nigerian that was manager at the time said, don't pay any Nigerian because they will get greedy. And that's brought a relationship that works. So his skill, his hard work ethics had proven him to the foreigner enough to tell him. So the man said, okay, well, I want to pull out myself because this was a partnership. Can you come and manage my own? And so uncle moved to there. He was able to save. Now he owns his own. I did a deed recently for him. I'm a lawyer for him doing all his work. And I know what he's worth. And I remember exactly how he started. Back then, I was one tiny girl from university. Then I'll be looking at it. I wish this did so will make it. But today, what is worth? So his mindset from time is, I know my worth. This doesn't matter.
So we find me. That's where, how long it takes me. That's where I wanted to speak on. Damilola, okay, please. We have Kolawole from Palm Grove. Good morning, Kolawole.
Good morning. And I think it's a good topic you guys have today.
Thank you.
I want to share just one experience to probably support the state of the mind or the mindset that one of you is talking about. When I left school many years ago, I left the university. I was to get a job somewhere. And I was using an uncle's place to take my meal, you know, as a school leaver, looking for a job and all that. And I got there one day and I saw a letter inviting me for an interview with a corporation, a big one. And I saw that the date of the interview had passed. And the letter was given after. I looked at the envelope, and the envelope was stamped, you know, in the post office. Instead of putting stamps when they are dispatching so many letters, they will stamp them. And that's what they call franking. So I thought that it was after. I just thought within me that I'm going to go to this place and I'm going to tell them that they didn't want to come for the interview. So I went the following Monday. I was directed to the person in charge, and when I went to him, I said, "Morning, sir. Young man, what do you want?" And this and this is what happened. I was not supposed to come for this interview, sir. So what do you mean? I showed him the letter. The interview, I said, yes, this letter was sent after the interview. How did you know? I showed him the envelope and whatever. Photo, he got off. I don't know where he went because I didn't understand the place. He came back a few minutes after and said, "Young man, if you didn't get another letter, come on to this for another interview." And what happened? Eventually, I got employed in that place. What am I trying to say? The mindset.
Mindset. Thank you.
I didn't know nobody there.
Thank you.
So just to quickly wrap up what I wanted to say, I think it goes back to the family unit of confidence. Raising our children with confidence. I think we're on this table, we've been able to establish that we got enough confidence from home to be able to demand what is supposed to be for us. And looking at how we grew up in family settings, is it that your parents are pushing you towards, the government job is the best, the government, they don't also give you a second option that if this door closes, my dear, kick another door and open it for yourself. And at the end of the day, so it boils down to the confidence that if they shut a door at you, there will be several doors that will be shut at your face. Which is the next door that you are going to open for yourself and create a path for yourself? Then other people will start following that path. So like my son will say, I'm the son of a broadcaster. And I'm like, you're not just the son of a broadcaster. You have to be you. I'm not saying don't follow my path, but in anything you want to do, be confident about it. In this Lagos, I've gone to look for a job for somebody. We didn't have an appointment. I think it was FIRS then. I went upstairs, and the PA to the FIRS chairman then, Mr. Fowler, was asking if we had an appointment. I said, no, I just believe there's a paracetamol.
That's how I walk in.
Yeah, I just believe it's a paracetamol. So he said, who needed the job? And I said, my friend. And she was quiet there. He said, how about you? I said, no, I'm comfortable with where I am.
I'm giving you that job immediately.
Do you get? And he was like, wow. He became my friend afterwards. So I noticed that a lot of people are also complacent. Oh, I'm here. This about that meeting here is okay for me. Oh, they don't want to push.
They don't call me, I won't push.
If they don't call me, I won't push. So let's begin to understand and encourage our children from cradle to get that confidence.
To break open doors.
To break open. The doors will not be open. What you passing in?
You have to break it. You have to break it. Thank you so much, Dabilola. We've learned a lot from this segment. I hope we have actually learned a lot from the segment. We started the conversation from, people, trying to understand the mindset of people who relocate. Yes, and we've said that you must make informed decisions. You must get all the facts. You must understand, if you are willing to sell your mansion here and go and squat in one bedroom. And the rooms in the UK are really very tiny. Very, very small.
This one, we say they are partitioning house.
Yeah, depending on the area.
Let's take this.
Let's take a few tweets.
Says, my dear sister, why do the people complaining refuse going back to the country that's Nigeria?
Coming back. Okay.
What exactly do we want? Yeah, there is freedom, but you must obey the rule here. But in Nigeria, we break laws. There is no man or godfather to get even job to put your child in school.
Yeah.
Chigozie says, traveling abroad to start from scratch is a mindset thing. Most of them will travel to do the type of work they would never do here. Yeah. It's a better environment in the West, but honestly, if people put in the hustle they offer abroad, chances are that they will make it big here.
Yeah. Do we have more? I have some here.
Alala also said, please note that there are remote jobs abroad. In the UK, you plan. In Nigeria, you don't plan, you pray. In Nigeria, there's no job fair. So graduates suffer from getting a job that leads to depression, and that leads to depression.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, laws don't work, and in Nigeria, where street light is 184 million per unit. Then he says, Akasha is very seriously clean here. 20,000 a month is comparable to clean there at $9 an hour.
Yeah.
I don't buy Japa craze, but compare apples and apples. You ladies aren't even saying that difference between here and there is working. Money there, whereas working nothing here is equal to.
We're not saying the money. If you make the money there and you spend it there, now the same issue. I go there and I do shopping there and I calculate what I buy there, what I buy here. We have to go,
1,000 naira food.
Yeah.
Comparable.
Yes, you can't get
$1 food there.
You can't get it there at all. Thank you so much, ladies, for your contributions. That's all we can take on the show today. Your View Pigeon starts tomorrow. Don't miss it, and have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye now.